Go, Benny!
Well, okay, so when Faith asked me to talk to you guys about the big picture, so including time management, planning and preparation, I said to myself, she's picked the wrong girl. I am literally a leave it to the last minute and use the pressure, panic and adrenaline to get things done kind of person. So literally procrastination is my superpower. So I said to myself, I guess I'm actually here today to tell you why that's not such a great idea and why you should have a plan. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So my name's Yvette Green. I am director of the Green Team. I started my journey in March 2018. I joined for me just for a little bit of something extra, some extra dollars in my back pocket. My whole life I've literally been known as Yvette, that girl that's actually really good at 10-pin bowling. To the point that my parents bought a 10-pin bowl, and now my husband and I actually own it. Thank goodness that hubby's there working so that I can be here today. I thrive on competition. So when I started with Scentsy, I started with a plan and a drive to achieve all the new consultant awards. My last minute hustle showed through at my first world tour event where Faith called me and all of the level 3 sensational star achievers to the stage. This came with the promise that if we made eye contact with her, she wouldn't call on us to talk. Big mistake on my behalf, because I was way too eager on that eye contact and cheeky Faith, she called on me. The question, when in your 70 days did you earn level 3? My response, literally in the last minutes of day 70, oh boy was it a rush. The first plan that I encourage you to make today is to never miss another in-person event. Whether you come on your own, but let's face it, this is Scentsy. You're not alone and you never will be. Or whether you're coming with your upline or bringing your very own team with you. The only way for you to go up is to show up. After every event, we leave with this passion to go home and to work. Well, I know I do. So this is the part where I come in, with the plan and the management to keep it going and not fade out and have you waiting for the next event to get that momentum going again. We all start every month at 0, with the same opportunity and the same tools. You're never alone, but at the same time, you don't need to pressure yourself to do all the things. And that's what's great about the flexibility that is Scentsy. We can all work in our own way without having to compare ourselves to others. You don't want to know how many times I've thought about messaging Faith and going, I'm out. What could I possibly have to offer you all here today? And if all I do here today is to help you take a leap, no matter how big or how small that is, out of your comfort zone, then my mission's complete. So it takes time to build something great. Whether you're just starting out an essential consultant, whether you're certified, lead, star, or a director, you have to be consistent with what you do. You can't just show up now and then and expect those results to fall in your lap. My journey isn't going to be the same as yours, and 2023 won't look any different than 2022 if you don't find that consistency and that plan that works for you. So that doesn't mean showing up every single day at 100%. That literally just means showing up in somehow, some way. The definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over again, expecting it to change. I have a quote from Orwell that I love, which basically reads, treat your business like a business, show up every day and it'll pay you like a business. But if you're going to treat it like a hobby, it's going to cost you like a hobby. And trust me, my husband's a collector and it's really expensive to have a hobby. So I hear you saying, so how do I make this plan? Well, Scentsy's done all of the hard work for us. With incentives, annual mentor and sales awards, the 90-day sleigh, which you can find info on in your workstation, our amazing training centre, and not to mention Shooting Star and Sensational Stars awards. All of these to help you learn how to work your business and how to grow your business. So what I want you to do is get out that book, write down a goal, something that you want to achieve this month. Share it with the person next to you even, because it's not a goal until you share it. Now while you're doing that, I'm just going to break down a goal for myself, basically so that it doesn't seem so scary when you break it down into smaller goals. So let's say you want to earn 200 PRV for the month. And I mean, who wouldn't when Scentsy's going to pay you an extra 5% in commissions just for working your business in the first place? So what smaller goals are going to get me there? For starters, 1 qualifying party per month. There's 200 PRV right off the bat. That leaves me with 1,800 PRV to go. And broken down, that's 60 PRV per day. 2 6-packs of wax. I mean, who here can't sell 12 wax bars a day? Well, at least try. So then we need income producing activities to help us along the way. Now these aren't all the little pretty things like the cute bags and the flyers and the notes to the team. These are things that include like follow-up. If you don't follow up with your past customers, you're missing out. These customers have already bought from you. They're going to run out. And if you don't check in on them, then somebody else is going to. The Power Hour is yet another tool that Scentsy's already given us. This doesn't have to be a full block of an hour in your day. You can break it up 15 minutes here or there, but with income producing activities. Things like networking, sharing your opportunity, building relationships, checking in on your team and recognizing them for their hard work. Checking your news tab, and self-improvement are just some of these income-producing activities. The magic formula to this business is you, and planning income-producing activities, which are tasks that help you bring in income, is key. It's easy to spend time on something and not really get anything done. But managing and prioritising those income-producing activities is easier than trying to manage your time. It sure is easy to get lost and overwhelmed. And just because you're hearing a lot of ideas from all of us up here today, in no way means that you need to do them all. When you first joined, you were given the basics, and you focus on that and it works. Somewhere along the way, we try and do more and more and can get lost in the fluff of trying to do too much. So it's time to simplify and get back to the basics. I was scrolling a director group and stumbled on an amazing post by Stacey Edwards, an American director. I loved the system so much that she was explaining, and so I asked her permission to share it with you today. She calls it the 1-1-1 method. Your first one is to ask someone to party. Now, this doesn't mean it has to be an in-home or a full party. You can literally ask somebody who has shopped with you twice in the last couple of months if they want to create a shopping link so that they can earn rewards. This also doesn't mean being salesy and just cold messaging them and saying, hey, you want to party? Be genuine, build that relationship and show them what those rewards can look like. Your second one is sharing the opportunity. Picking a loyal customer or even your party host to flip to. Yes, you lose PRV in the short term, but if you teach them to do the same, it'll come back to you in the long term. And your third one is to build a relationship. Get to know a team member, and again, not what are your numbers looking like, but more how are you and how can I help you. With a customer, not about what do they need to order or how's their stash going, but ask about them. In the long run, this is going to create loyalty, but also make the ordering, partying, joining conversations easier. Without these relationships, it's just like cold calling somebody every 6 months or looking like you only care about the sale. And do you notice that you know about your best customers more than anyone else? So let them know about you. This system is so simple, it's 3 conversations each day. It takes only a few minutes per conversation. Now, if sponsoring is not your jam, then it's not for everybody. You need to be willing to help those people if you're going to sponsor them. So if it's not for you, find another income producing activity, which could be as simple as post to your stories every day or post to your VIP every day. Just something that is producing you income. I'm going to also share this template on the All Consultants page when I get home, just so that you can grab it. So I challenge you to print it out or write it down. I challenge you to try it for a week and then try it for 2 weeks. Try it for a month and then move on to 3 months. And I promise you it'll work. But if it doesn't and you see no improvement, scrap it. Results won't be immediate, but relationships will build, and this is a relationship business. And a lot about this business and life in general is a mental game. I'm not confident up here in front of you, but I am confident that if I wasn't standing here, out of my comfort zone, I'm not going to continue to grow. Listening to Jason Harwood from Home Office on our director call last week, I know that I don't always want to be consistent. I've been at work all day, I've cooked dinner, I've ran around after the kids. The last thing that I want to do is sit down on the computer and do more work. When I let my head win and I tell myself that I don't feel like it, my results go down. And Jason explained that if we just start, then the want to do the task becomes easier. Also, a positive mindset. This can mean so much, and my kids have taught me this daily. Just last year, my daughter Madeline, she's 12. All she wanted to do in grade 6 was to get all of her peers to camp. Sorry, I didn't know I'd do that. She just wanted them all to go their last year before they went off to different high schools. So she asked me to start a Scentsy fundraiser. Not only did she pose for her pictures, but she went live. She had people watching her and it didn't scare her. How many of you have been scared to go live? Never again will I be scared to go live if my little girl can do it. Sorry. She ended up raising $1,000 and she got all of her friends to camp, and as you can see, she had a blast. Then we've got my daughter Zoe. She's 11. And just last week, she was having a really hard time within herself with her bowling. Now, we all bowl. I make them bowl. She was struggling to take that first step. In her mind, she said, what if? What if this happens and what if that happens? And as a coach and a mum, I tried everything to fix her. But she taught me a lesson that day that not everything is about finding something to fix it, but sometimes it's just about finding a positive mindset and a change. So it wasn't about fixing her, but it was about changing those what ifs into I cans and I wills. And now she's gone from, she was nearly taking 35 precepts before she would take that first initial step, and now she's back to 1. And then my little dude Jordan, he shows me that while you put the blame on other people, because he blames me every time it goes wrong, and you put the blame and the worry on other people and you don't look inside, that it doesn't work. Like, is your sponsor non-existent? Is your upline not there? Well, you're an independent Scentsy consultant and you have all the tools that everybody else has, all the tools that your upline have. But when you stop and you relax and you enjoy and you have fun, it's amazing what you can do. Just here in the bigger picture where he's surrounded by people, he was 4 years old, bowling in an under 18s competition. Not one child in that photo is under 12, and he won. I cried like this then too. So why am I up here doing something so scary? Because people like Faith and Lisa and Dan, they believed in me. Because the people that I confided in and my family, they believed in me. But until I get up here and I actually do it, how on earth am I going to believe in myself? All those people believing in me means absolutely nothing if I don't believe in myself. And without the love and support of my family and my friends, I'd not have the opportunity to believe and achieve. So I encourage you all to write the scary goal, break it down into manageable tasks, and plan the income-producing tasks to make it happen. Thank you. Woohoo!